So, earlier today, we got the news that the Parliament has rejected the May's third Brexit bill, and he lost it by, what do I want to say, 58 votes, I believe. She lost it by 58 votes. She was never going to win it. Third time was not lucky, basically. And now we are left with the deadline is being set to the 12th of April now, apparently, when there will have to be some sort of agreement in place now, unless you can get further extend the Brexit process, basically Article 50, etc. So no deal is now a likely scenario, says the EU. So I don't know how true that is. Maybe they are they're just trying to put pressure on us, on Britain, to come up with a deal, come up with a solution quickly, because realistically it should be, it's been nearly 3 years now, and we are still no further in the negotiations. The EU hasn't given anything, so I would say no deal is a good idea, but maybe not if we just crash out on the 12th. I think it would be more sensible to wait. I don't know, maybe have a new election, have a new leader, start some negotiations. If anything, start negotiating with other countries, I would say. Even though I know you're not technically supposed to have negotiations with other countries, as we're still in the EU, I guess, until some sort of arrangement is made. So a no deal scenario is likely, apparently, on the 12th, the EU says, and the pound has taken a hit and is now below $1.30 below that now. So the pound has taken a bit, about 0.5% hit today. So imagine what would happen on the 12th of April. Who knows? That's why they're saying this, because they think, oh my God, we're going to think the pound is going to absolutely collapse on the 12th of April if we just crash out with no deal, no plans, which is true. It'll definitely take some sort of hit if, and I want there to be no deal, but I equally don't want the pound to be absolutely obliterated. But maybe it's exaggerated the extent of this. But if you have May as a leader, if May steps down, I think the pound goes up like straight away. But then if Jeremy Corbyn takes over, the pound goes down as well. So you need Boris Johnson or someone basically to come in, work on basically maybe a deal, some sort of deal, semi-deal, semi-no deal. So sort of a in-between, where if we leave, we have at least some sort of arrangement, maybe for a couple of years, where maybe we do not have to pay into the EU, or maybe we pay like similar to what we're already paying, although I would say I don't want to pay any more money to the EU. But just for the sake of the economy, maybe you pay in whatever they're still paying. You know more, and I guess maybe follow some rules, the EU rules, and then so maybe you keep us in the EU, or not in the EU, but following the rules, keep the free trade for 1 year, 2 years maybe, and then at that time we make deals with emerging markets, with China, with Asian countries, with America, with Canada, with Brazil or something, with Malaysia, with all these emerging markets, and obviously old markets as well, like Japan, all these places, Korea. So yeah, and obviously the Commonwealth, Australia, New Zealand, places in Africa, India, obviously. You need a good deal with India, China, the big economies that are going to be overtaking, because the EU isn't going to be in any growth basically, but we still. I don't know whether we more need the EU or it's more we need to not crash out with absolutely nothing, but it's more the fear of the pound completely sinking if at this moment. But maybe I'm over exaggerating that. And of course, the EU are gonna hype that up, being like, "Oh my god!" So the European Council President Donald Tusk had earlier confirmed that an emergency summit of European leaders will take place on April 10th, 2 days before Britain's new exit date. So maybe Britain we will fall out of the EU on the 12th, but I think they should be able to extend, and especially if you have May step down. Ideally, I think she should step down now. She's had three chances to give a deal, and she has not been successful at all. She's not successful running the country, but equally, these Remainer people the Remainers basically, like Vince Cable, Sadiq Khan, who are calling for a second referendum. That should not happen in any way or shape or form, and that's partially what they voted on today. They had different ideas about how to different exit deals or remaining in the custom union, all this stuff, and they didn't vote for any of these alternative deals or approaches. And the people saying, Sadiq Khan, for example, saying that Article 50 should be revoked is absolutely ridiculous. I mean, basically saying, let's cancel Brexit, it's not going to work. But you can't even necessarily do that anyway, even if he wanted to. Even he wanted to, even though he's not got any control. No one. There's a serious fringe of people who want these Remainers, marching in the streets of London, 1 million people protesting Brexit, it's so terrible, oh my god, I'm a European, well, if you're a European, you move to fucking France, man. Get out of my country, honestly. If you're so European, move to France, move to Germany, go there, look how good Paris is. Go join the riots in Paris with the Gilets jaunes, if it's so great. If the EU is so great, move to Brussels. Move to Paris. It's not a fairy tale land in the EU. Sorry, kidda. But so where we go from here, we'll see. On the 12th, they're gonna have to do something. I think maybe, I don't know how much an election would solve things. You certainly need May to leave, but you need a new conservatory leader to take over some new negotiations, extend things a little bit, and then we leave, and actually leave, not some kind of half in, half out customs union or nothing like that. So effectively, there will be more further extension to the Brexit process, and I don't know how long they'll extend it to. Maybe they'll extend it to the summer. Maybe they'll extend it to another, maybe longer. I don't think they want to extend it too much more because it's already been dragged out for 2.5 years, 3 years. If you give it any more time, it'll just be ridiculous. You've got to actually, it's like a band-aid, you've got to pull it off eventually. But I would leave it until you've got to have further extension of it, basically, and then after that, you can actually try and get an actual deal. Or if the EU doesn't want a deal, then you just go elsewhere. You go to China and ask for a deal. You go to you go somewhere where you can actually get business done, because the EU is just a fascist bureaucracy, and they want everything for nothing. They want us to give us all our money to them to pay for these poor Eastern European countries, to build them up and create an EU army. Uh, so we owe nothing to the EU. They owe us everything. The EU is no friend of ours. Cut ties eventually, and then Britain will be so much better off without the EU. That's it.